Okay, so hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fortnite Mythbusters, episode 80, 81, I don't even know anymore. In today's episode, I included a whole ton more myths than I usually do, so if you do have a myth you would like me to test in the next or future Mythbuster episodes, make sure to go down in the comment section down below and drop a comment of a myth for a pretty good chance to be featured. Also, if you could aim for 10,000 likes on today's video, that would be insane. Also, subscribe and turn on those post notifications to never miss another video. If you play Fortnite every single day or even once a week, you definitely need to check out PlayBig. With PlayBig, you play games just like Fortnite, and from there you complete quests while in a match, like winning a game or maybe even like reviving your teammate, and then you will earn what is called PlayBig currency, or the little coins that are right next to your name. Once you've done a couple of quests, you can then head on over to the shop and redeem those coins for literally IRL items, PayPal money to buy yourself some V-Bucks, a gaming mouse, and even all the way up to a monster computer. Now you're like, Nexiph, I don't only play Fortnite, I'm not good at Fortnite. There are tons of other games which you could play as well that you could earn yourself some coins by doing these quests. Some of these games I'm sure you have heard of, and you might even play yourself: Apex Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League, CSGO, and that's not even touching the entire list. Make sure to go check out PlayBig, first link in the description, and earn yourself some awesome loot just by playing your favorite game. Anyways guys, without further ado, let's get right on into today's video. Jumping straight into the first myth is, can a fishing rod be used to prevent a player from taking fall damage? After attempting this myth a couple of times, we were finally able to do it, and surprisingly it dropped all of the fall damage. I mean, at first you were taking 20-25 fall damage from this drop, but when I hooked the player before he hit the ground, he took no fall damage at all. Now, doing this in a real game is really unlikely because it was difficult for us to even do it once with this low of a drop. So doing it from maybe even max build limit, that's not gonna happen in a real game. The next myth is, when you kill a bot and search their stats, will it show anything at all? When I tried this, I launched up a custom lobby, and I was by myself launching into it, and the whole lobby filled up with 100 players. So the other 99 besides me, they're definitely bots. They're not even real people. One way you can tell for a fact that the lobby is full of bots is right when you get into the battle bus, that the whole thinking the bus driver thing isn't being spammed. It's only a couple at a time, and in a real game people spam the crap out of that. Anyways, I killed a bot. I went over to the Fortnite tracker page, the main one everyone uses to search up stats, and it just doesn't show the profile. It doesn't register that it is actually a real epic name or anything registered into the Fortnite tracker. But let's be honest, the stats won't be much better than mine because I'm kind of a bot myself. Jumping straight into the next myth is, do traps still kill you while you're hiding in a trash can or even a hay bale? When I tried this myth out, I tried it out specifically with a trash can, since that's the more common one I see around in like cities and such in game. And surprisingly, the trap, it won't even notice that you're in the trash can. It won't even do any damage to you. You could literally jump into the trash can, your body will be hiding right in front of the trap, and as soon as you jump out, it'll actually remove the trap off the wall, which is right behind you. Overall, very interesting and something very good to know for if there is ever a trap next to a trash can or a hay bale. Going straight into the next myth is, can you see someone with a thermal scoped AR while they're hiding in a hay bale? Unfortunately, the thermal scoped AR is no longer in the game, but I thought this was still a good myth just in case it does ever return. Typically, while looking through the scope with a thermal scoped AR, it'll show players in this bright orange, yellow color, and then when they do jump in the hay bale, they'll disappear forever. You won't even know they're there unless you jump in the hay bale yourself or you break it. I don't even know how you could even kill players while they're in the hay bale, actually thinking about it now. Overall though, definitely something good to know if it ever does get added back. Jumping into the next myth is, can you go on a zipline while you are carrying a knocked player? Honestly, in the new map, there's not many ziplines unless you kind of count them as these power cables that are going around the outer edges of the map, which I guess they could be good for rotation. When I tested this out, surprisingly, you could actually ride the zipline while carrying a knocked player, and the funniest thing is when you do throw the knocked player off of your shoulder while on the zip line, they go flying. I mean, you could throw them really far. Definitely something good to know though, if you are carrying maybe your knocked teammate and the storm is coming and you need to rotate in really quick, the zip lines is definitely a very good way of transportation. Diving into the next myth is, what happens when you dive onto a launch pad that is underwater? This is actually a very good myth and a very highly requested one, but sadly, launch pads, they're not in the real game anymore. I did a glitch back to the main island That way I could actually have a launch pad, and I was able to place it just a little bit beneath the water. That way when I dove onto it, it would actually launch my player up into the air, but there was no redeploy for some reason. I don't even know. Automatically it would redeploy, but I was not able to do it at the specific height that I wanted to. But let's be honest, if this was a real match, who would place a launch pad under the water? That would be a weird place. Going straight into the next myth. The next myth is what happens when you hook a player with a fishing rod while they're gliding in midair. Now this is actually something that could happen to you in game, and it took us a lot of attempts to do, so it's not very likely that it could actually happen. But in the case that you are gliding in midair and someone does throw a fishing rod at you and the hook actually does hit you, it literally does nothing. I mean, it'll make a weird noise when it does hit the glider or even the player, but luckily it won't pull you off of your glider, it won't make you fall down to your death or even take any fall damage. You'll just keep gliding like you regularly do, and they'll get kind of mad because they should have been able to hook you off your glider. Going straight into the next myth. The next myth is what happens when you're hiding in a haystack and then you get boogie bombed. Just like the thermal scope, boogie bombs are no longer in the game, but they do have a really good chance to be added back because a lot of people like them. I mean, they're not overpowered, they're not too, I don't know, too bad. They're just kind of neutral. They're a good item. I tried this out specifically with a trash can, and when the boogie bomb was thrown at me while I was in there, the trash can did its job. I mean, it didn't even notice your player at all, but when you do jump out, the boogie bomb dance still won't occur. The boogie bomb just doesn't even count whatsoever. Now, say you do get boogie bombed and you want to jump in a trash can to hide while you are dancing. Unfortunately, it says you are not able to use this now, and you can't jump in it. You are vulnerable to get shot at until you are done dancing. Then you are able to jump into the trash can, of course. Going into the next and one of my most requested myths, this myth is, can you add an AI/bot to your friends list, similar like we did with the searching stats earlier? This is actually a pretty good myth to do, and I did basically the exact same thing that I did earlier with searching the stats on the bots. Actually, now thinking about it, this was the exact same game. Same thing as before occurs when you do launch into the battle bus. No one really thinks to bus because it's full of bots, and obviously the bots, they're not like me as a bot, they're like AIs, like computer programmed. So they're not actual people playing the game, they're just a computer. When I killed the bot, I searched up its name in the Fortnite friends list, Epic Games, on the Epic Games client itself, as well as in Fortnite. And in Fortnite, it doesn't show any message at all. I try and search a name, it doesn't show like this username doesn't exist or anything. It just shows like it adds it, and then it just disappears. But when you do go to the Epic Games client itself to add that account, it shows that the Epic Games name was not found, which kind of shows that you can't add bots, which was kind of expected. When trying to add like Tfue or even Ninja, it shows that you can't add them because of privacy settings, because obviously they have friend requests turned off. And when you do add an account like use code Nexiph, it shows that the friend request was obviously sent, since it is a valid Epic Games username accepting friend requests. Going into another and highly requested myth. This myth is, can you rocket ride a bandage from the bandage bazooka? Now let's face it, the bandage bazooka, it's a little overpowered. I mean, you shoot bandages out, you could go from 0 to 75 to 100 HP within literally seconds. So can you rocket ride one of these bandages as well, since it shoots out bandages similar to like an RPG? After tons and tons of attempts, we were finally able to successfully rocket ride a bandage from the bandage bazooka, and let me tell you, you launch really far and you launch extremely fast. It took us a good 15 to 20 attempts to actually do this successfully, and I mean, I could rocket ride someone almost every single time. So saying that, trying to do this with the bandage bazooka means it's pretty difficult to do. But let me tell you, if you ever do this successfully in a public match, it will definitely be an awesome clip, especially if you get a final kill with maybe like a 360 no scope with a heavy sniper or something. Anyways guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe if you are new to the channel. I apologize for the lack of uploads recently. I lost my voice. If you couldn't tell, it kind of sounds weird in today's video. Uploads are going to be back on regular schedule starting now. So in 2 days I will have another Mythbusters video for you guys. So make sure to look forward to that, and I will see you guys next time.